always have a horrible time.
I know, me too. Welcome, everybody. I got special guests here.
Zen.
What's this? What's your new name? Quetza
And Zen.
and Zen. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna do Q&A. Anybody want to come in and talk? Hey, Mary. If you have any questions, So if you have any questions for Rambo or you have any questions for Zen, now it's the time. Hey, Pina Colada. Okay, Zen. Okay, you can't be stretching my dress and my boobs on the camera. Okay. Okay. So, you want to click?
Like you want to use this?
We could. Okay. Oh, that looks like a comment. I don't know if it's a comment or a question.
I can't spell your new name. Yeah. I mean, I could barely spell it sometimes.
Okay.
No question. I just want to say I miss seeing you and Baby Zen and Rambo.
Oh, we're thankful.
One sec, can you finish the story about Loyal asking to be?
Oh, well, you already know that when you're at Carbonation, that hold on, yo, because Zen he's feeding, so he's like pulling my dress down.
You don't care what's going on.
That you see how everybody is in a relationship, and it's always been like that. But it wasn't really nothing. It was like once I let Tron and them know that I wasn't interested in being Tron's direct, minutes later, I received a message from Loyal and saying, like, I talked to Chief and he was like, it would be, maybe we'd be a good fit, and if you could send me your chart. And I was like, I said, no, thank you, I'm not interested. And then he was just like, why not? I said, because I'm not. I was like, I'm not interested in talking in you in that way. And I was like, my mind's not even on you like that or nothing. Hold on. What's the matter? And so I knew that it was going to happen because where everybody was paired up, and he was like the only one available, and then I was coming, so I know they're probably looking at, oh, this is divine, and I'm like, absolutely not. I don't even know if he's like 21 years old.
But if you would have accepted that, like, knowing the standards that you have for yourself,
yeah,
it would just show like how little you respect yourself.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't want to, and I think that's had an influence on why you were feeling the way you were feeling. Yeah. Because it's like what you want for yourself, and going to an environment and allowing yourself to be set up with somebody who you didn't want to be with, not only shows that you don't care about yourself, but that the people trying to force that on you ain't have respect for you either. Yeah. But it all starts with yourself, because you got to set that boundary for yourself.
Well, and then I did send Chief a message, and I let him know. I was like, I just received a message from Loyal. I said, look, I'm not interested in him. I'm not about to sit here and settle. Please, no. And he was like, understood. So it wasn't like he was, but you just never know when you get there. But I was just like, no, absolutely not. I was like, I'm going to be the auntie. I was like, I'll be the auntie of Carbonation, but I most definitely ain't going to have to be nobody's direct. So, okay. So that was it, y'all.
Want to answer this one?
No, we can answer that. We talked about it before.
Yeah.
So when Beauty Rose said, did you and Rambo get forced to be together? No, you don't get forced. Well, I know
you can't get forced.
You can't get forced
really, like,
to be with someone.
I mean, people could like insinuate, or they could suggest shit, but nobody could force you to be with somebody else. Yeah. We actually we didn't want to. We rejected that at first.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later,
it wasn't until like later on. Then that's when him and I just started talking, and then one night he was in my tent, and then the rest was history. Rambo used to sneak in my tent at night.
That's right.
And so eventually we were just like, all right, you know. But I always thought Rambo was attractive or whatever.
Yeah. But it's like, I think we were so focused on the mission and what we were doing that wasn't even the biggest interest of ours,
Exactly.
And it wasn't until later that it kind of became a challenge, and we started growing through the relationship because we started getting too focused on the relationship.
Yeah.
But it served as a catalyst to open up different parts of ourselves that we needed to work on. So. Yeah,
exactly. I agree. Freaking nuts.
So are we back together?
Me and Rambo never broke up. Like, I've been here the whole time because, like, I was hearing things. People were talking about Rambo sent her home to her mama and all this and that. Me and Rambo have never separated, So, yeah.
Why was it okay for you to leave your child when he fought so hard for his child?
So why was it okay for you to leave your child when he fought so hard for his child? I think I never left my child. But the thing is, in anything that you do, when it comes to your purpose, you don't want to get distracted. And that's what it means. Don't let nobody get in the way of your purpose. Don't let no one get in the way of you loving yourself. Not even your children, not even your spouse. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to abandon them, but you have to know what that means for you. And I knew that I wasn't going to allow, I was showing my universe, I wasn't going to allow nothing to get in the way. But at the same time, I knew that I could have whatever I want. I could do whatever I want. So if I want Zen, I'm going to have Zen. But if I'm going to have Zen, I have to make it work for both of us. Rambo's not my enemy. Like, no one's my enemy except for the enemy. But so if me going into the situation knowing that, then I will know how to move and think in order to receive what it is that I want. And so just like I said in the previous live, that once I realized why Rambo was resisting me taking Zen, it brought understanding. He just wanted to make sure I was solid. He was just like, I know the baby belongs to the mother. And he said, and I know it would be better for Zen to have a community and have other children. He was like, but if you're going to be a part of that community, you need to be solid within yourself. You need to make sure you're going to protect our child, because I'm not going to be there. And so I was like, okay, I get it. So this is about me being solid and being that foundation for Zen, no matter where I am. So.
Mm-hmm. If you have questions, try to send them through the little question part so we can put them on the screen. This one?
Yeah. Okay. Someone said, are you still a part of Carbonation? Absolutely, because I'm still a part of the truth. I believe that the intentions of Carbonation is to bring people to a higher level of consciousness. Now, like I said, truth is everywhere. Carbonation is a space where they are putting out that truth. Now, a lot of y'all follow Carbonation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be there with them. And with me, it wasn't necessarily about Carbonation. It's about the truth. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm all about truth and higher learning. Okay? So as long as you are reflecting the truth, as long as Rambo is proclaiming his kingdom, reflecting the truth, working on himself, I will always support Rambo. And even with Carbonation, as long as they're doing what they're here to do, I will always support them. But the thing that I've learned about myself is that I'm merely just a vessel of truth. And I was a vessel for Carbonation to amplify the message that he was putting out that was truth. And I'll go back and repeat this. When we talk about the universe, you want to connect to the universe, which is una means one, verse means language. Well, language is thought, one mind. That's what we should be focused on. That's what I'm focused on, the universal language. I don't care about nothing else but being in tune to the universal language, to be in tune with that force that we call God. That's it. That's all I'm focused on. And becoming my greater self, becoming my higher self. That's the only thing that I am focused on.
Yeah, like there ain't no teams. Like, it ain't us versus them. It is nothing, no teams. It's because it's all the same thing. Everybody's on the same journey. We're all growing and becoming more aware of life and its reality and going through different phases of the cycle of life. You know, it's not about being against anybody. Like, we're not building a team to go against another team. Yeah. We don't look at life that way.
Yeah.
We're just integrating with the truth. And anybody else who's doing that, they won with us.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. And that's how, you know, I see it. Okay. 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 We can go to it. You don't want to. Oh, you want to wait?
No, I mean, not because I had seen another question that was similar.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I think somebody want to come in. That's still the same question.
Yeah, but I like this phrase.
Okay.
Okay. How do you feel about Carbonation not being vegan anymore?
I support their change. I support their evolvement because, as you guys know, when me and Rambo left a year ago, I had a video why we're not vegan anymore. So this is the reason why where Rambo and I are at is the best place, because where we are receiving the light codes, we are receiving the downloads. When we hit this island, a big island, that was the first thing that, you know, that the universe told us. You need to start eating meat again. You need to start eating eggs. You need to start eating from the earth. You need to start eating local meats. It was saying that to us, and everybody and their mama was coming down on me and Rambo, saying we misleading the people and all this and that. And so, but we had to do what our intuition, what our guide was telling us to do, and that was to nourish ourselves because we needed the meat. And when I got pregnant, that's when it changed everything. Oh yeah, you can be cute and eat your little fruits and vegetables and be vegan, but like I was saying in the video, not everybody's body is different. And when I got pregnant, it changed everything for me, and I wasn't getting enough nutrients. I wasn't getting enough nutrients for me and the baby. And so I think partially that's why I looked like Death's Door, because I wasn't getting enough food. And so when I came to Hawaii, in a matter of a week, I gained like 10 pounds. You know, I gained like 10 pounds because I was eating fresh local fish, and I was eating local chicken eggs, you know, and salads and cane juice and eating from the earth, eating locally here. And in a matter of like a week, I gained like 10 pounds. Just like that. Mm-hmm. So I support Carbonation and their evolvement. I support that.
Yeah. And I think like I was already tuning into this frequency before I even left the Carbonation. I was already becoming aware of this reality, you know. But to me, it's just cycles. Like I think everything serves a purpose. I think everything in life that you go through serves a purpose. Every diet, every belief system, every relationship, it all serves a purpose. It's not about right or wrong, but it's about what's right for you in that moment. You know, so when you start looking at it that way, like it's no longer about like criticizing somebody for where they're at right now in their current journey, but understanding that that's probably what they need to go through right now. So, you know, it's no critique to nobody for what part of their journey they're on, you know, and that's just how I look at it. You know, so I understand everybody's perspective, and because I've come full circle now in my like journey. I feel like I've come full circle from leaving and trying to escape and get away to coming back and integrating and coming back into a state of more balance, you know. So that's what it is. Ultimately, it's always going to be about self-development, about evolution, self-evolution and discovery. And that you might not like what it looks like, or you might not be in the same timing as it is, but everybody that's going through it will go through all of it. if you so choose to, and you will come through different stages, and you will morph through different cycles. But who am I to look at a cycle of somebody else where they're in their cycle? I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about my own evolution and my own journey, and what I'm tuning into and focusing on this moment that could help me and empower me to become greater within my own self. And I feel like, and I know for a fact that since we've gotten here, we just leveled up in so many different ways that I think that if we weren't here, we couldn't have leveled up to, and we wouldn't have got to experience that level of wisdom that we learned through the experiences that we had,
Yeah.
And so that's what it's about. Do you want to, because obviously he wants to go live, but I really wanted to make this about that. How you feeling?
I was reading the comment. It says, would you both be open to creating a community for other like minds to live? That's what we're doing now. Rambo and I realized that we are the community.
You're already in a community. Even if you don't know you're in a community, you're in a community, because say you in eating regular food, eating McDonald's and stuff, you supporting the McDonald's community, the community that McDonald's is, that corporation. So no matter what, you're already in a community, just because you're not aware of it, but you're already supporting and give your energy to something. So you already have a community. But here on the island, it's a lot more, it becomes a lot more evident, because everybody's interlinked so closely together, and people trade food, and your neighbors, everybody. It's a lot closer link, because we do share a relatively smaller space as compared to like a mainland or something like that. Yeah. So.
Oh, let's go to the video. Like, if somebody else wanted to, we don't have to. How do you hit that? You can go to her because she was, yeah.
You're probably not even there no more.
I know.
Yeah, it declined.
Oh, okay. Not today. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. And someone said, do you guys believe in polygamy still? Yes, I still believe in polygamy. But the main thing, that the message that I want to put out today about this is that it's not about polygamy and monogamy. I believe that people should be who they really are. I do not believe that you should change who you are to get somebody to love you, to get somebody to stay in your life. That's what I do not agree with. Because at the end of the day, if you are changing yourself to be with someone, all you are waiting on is opportunity to be who you really are. That is the wedge. So no, I do not. That's what I do not agree with. Don't ever change who you are to get anyone to love you. So if you monogamous, fine. If you polygamous, fine. Be you. And if somebody in your life does not accept that and don't want to be about that, then they don't need to be in your life.
Yeah, and also I think that it's like I said, everything serves a purpose. Like what is the purpose you're going through life right now, and what are you using that for? Like if you're using polygamy to create a big family, yeah, that might be the right thing. But if you ain't doing that, or if you're not in a situation to do that, then why would you tap into polygamy? Or are you just exercising your own demons? You want to be with a lot of women, that could be an issue too. I mean, it's just like, it's not so black and white. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's because everything serves a purpose, and every situation requires a different action. You don't apply universal action to everything in your life,
Okay.
You gotta assess the situation that you're going through and apply, a custom tailored decision for that moment, you know. And that's why with the whole diet thing, I was like, that's dumb. That's a dumb way to looking at it. Why are we eating the same thing every day? Like, why aren't we like listening to our bodies? Why aren't we tuning into the situation to try to respond to it in a more accurate manner, you know, rather than just using blanket statements for the whole world? Because every situation is different, just like every one of us is different. We all carry different energies, have different traumas, have different genetic lineages that have left us with all these wounds and shit. We're all healing from different things. Yes, you could say we all need healing, but how you approach that person because of their particular you know, things that they've gone through is going to be different for every person, you know. So that's the way I look at that's the way I look at life.
Yeah.
Why you wanted to leave Rambo and go?
Okay, somebody said, why did you want to leave Rambo and go back to Nature Boy? Are you in love with him? Let me tell y'all something. The connection that I had with Chief, it was beyond love. I was devoted. I worshipped him. You understand? It was beyond that. I worshipped. This was my guru. This was the person that gave me life. And at the time, Rambo and I was not on the same frequency. Me and Rambo were not going in the same direction. We did not believe in the same things. So there was no point of me staying in a situation that was not conducive for me. I believe that carbonation is my soul family, and I still believe that. Because like I said, what is the universe? It is one language, one mind. As long as carbonation stay within that universal language to the truth, we're going to have the same mind. So it was never about Rambo. My life was never about Rambo. And Rambo and I, we are coming to the realization of our relationship. Our lives are not about each other. Rambo needs to take care of himself. I need to take care of myself. He needs to follow the truth within him and vice versa. And as long as we continue to follow the truth, we might go in the same direction or we won't. You know what I mean? But Rambo had to understand that the attachment that I had for Chief was beyond a relationship. It was a devotion. It was a worship. I gave this man my mind, you know, and that's really what it's about. That's what it was about for me. And that's what I wanted to be clear and honest. But I think most people knew that. But it was a space that I'm very thankful to be in. I'm so thankful. And I was thinking about this, man. I was like, to be able to feel that way about something. Mm-hmm. Because people always talk about they believe in God, they believe in Jesus, and Jesus is their Lord. But you never met Jesus. You believe in something that you don't truly understand and that you've never met. Well, I had the opportunity to feel a certain way and be a part of something. Like I said, I believe he is who he said he was. And to be a part of that, to be in communion with that, was a beautiful and amazing thing. But I realized that doesn't stop. That devotion, that worship, because he is me. He brought me to my own divinity. The reason why I knew who he was is because I was able to see myself through him. But that doesn't go away. And so now, because I received the frequency and the vibration of what worship and devotion is, I keep that and I incorporate that in my life and all things that I do. I'm devoted to my life. I worship my life. I worship the present moment. I'm in the moment. It's in the now. I'm devoted to. And I thank him because if it was not for him taking that position, I wouldn't have had that experience. So he's in the room saying all this stuff, but it's like, you still ain't listening. Like, you know what I mean? You're not listening. It's not a us against you thing.
And that's the thing with him. Like, I noticed that he has trouble listening to other people's opinions or points of view. You know, he to his own. You know, and that could be detrimental to him as well, because some people sometimes just want to express what they're feeling, and sometimes all you got to do is listen. All you got to do is listen and let that out, and without judging them, without trying to impose or force your opinion, but just to have a moment to where they could express how they're feeling. Like, I think that will do more for that person than anything, you know. But it's not about war. It's not about fighting. It's not about it's not us versus them. It's none of that. It's I versus I. It's just you versus yourself, you know.
I thought you had something in his mouth.
So, are you going back to the States? Well, we in the States, we're in Hawaii, considered the States, but we don't have any plans right now going to the mainland. So,
if I go back and be to visit people. Did you want to?
I already answered.
Oh, you already answered
that?
that?
I already talked about that. I don't feel anything. Like, to me, like that's why I said, like, what I'm going through in my journey, like, is my journey. Like, I'm not focusing on what other people are going through or what they're discovering. It doesn't change how I feel about what I believe in and what I'm practicing at this moment, because I'm so integrated into my life. I'm so focused on my life that what somebody else does I don't need that validation. I don't need that to feel good about myself. You know, I've been on this for forever, you know, for a long time already. So I don't feel any type of way. It doesn't make me feel any type of way.
Somebody said, "Babe, your mom calling you."
You're asking a lot of questions.
I know. Let me see.
I think I need to get this thing.
Oh, it's getting shaky. Immortal SpongeBob SquarePants says, "Will you, Rambo, be starting your own tribe?" We are our own tribe. Okay, we're it. This is it. Queen said, "Do y'all eat meat too? If so, what kind?" We've been eating meat since we came to the island, but then I had stopped eating meat at a certain point, because when I was going to carbonation, you know, at the time there wasn't eating meat. So, you know, if you're on the frequency, you do what the frequency does. But lately, like, I went back to like eating eggs, and now I might eat some fish. But Rambo, what he eats, he likes to eat organ meats, and he can explain more of that to you more. But he likes to eat the organ meats, and we do eat fish. And we don't do chicken. Like, we really don't do chicken, but we do the fresh fish and the farm raised eggs here. The eggs here are really good. They're really good. Hold on. Oh, Daniel said, "What's organ meats?" Like liver. He just eats liver, like the organ meats, of an animal. He was doing research that they're more beneficial than like the other fatty meats, because the other fatty, this is just fat. It's not no real nutrition.
Yeah,
Oh, you can't. Oh, this is fine. That is shaking.
No, because the Zen keeps moving, so he makes it.
Oh, he said, "Why not address me straight up though?" Because it's not about you. This live is not about you. What are you talking about? It's like, this is not about you. And if you was listening to what I said, I wasn't saying anything about you. So I don't know why you're talking about let me in the live, address me. Ain't nothing to address. Like, there's no discord between you and me. Now, I don't know if there's discord between you and Rambo, but there's no discord. There's no animosity.
Not at all. But, you know, I think also there might be a hesitation because, well, I understand, like, how much his presence can influence you.
Yes.
So the reason that you have to step back and step away to be able to speak how you're feeling is because there's something about his presence that won't allow you to communicate your true emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like, if right now, like, you know, you can express yourself, but when he comes in, it's going to be different because he's going to be projecting his energy to you, and that's going to make you shut down your emotion. I've seen it. That's why I asked you after you got off the phone with him, why didn't you express yourself? Because I know that that's something that you have a hard time with, dealing with.
Yeah.
So he wants to come in right now because then his presence will be here, but then that's going to change the way you're going to respond.
Yeah.
I know that. I know it's going to change the way. So
but that's something that I should overcome because no one should be able to alter, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a challenge that you struggle with, that, you know, that you want validation from him, that you're seeking validation from him because he never gave it to you. Mm-hmm. The whole time you were at Carbonation, he never gave you validation. He always treated you like the lowest. He always gave you the less attention. So now it left you in a state where you constantly seeking that validation from him. Mm-hmm. And he knows that. He knows that he has that power over you. So any chance he gets, any time he wants to use you, he taps into that energy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not about good, it's not about bad, it's not about who's being good or bad, it's just about the situation. Mm-hmm. The energetic situation that is playing out right here. This is a connection that you two share. You looked up to him as a great mentor, as a leader, somebody who changed your life and introduced you to so many things. But to him, it's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. He's just using that to manipulate you for what he wants, which is nothing wrong with manipulating your reality, but you got to know that. You got to know that because you got to know what position you play in other people's life, because you got to know how they see you. So him being like, hey, like, you're going to be with Lawyer, you're going to be with Tron, that was letting you know, look, this is how he sees you. And even then we found out that wasn't the case. When you went there, it was already going to be arranged, that it was being told that that's what was going to happen, even though you had already said that you didn't agree with it. But because this person doesn't see you in that light, they never be able to respect you. But really, it's you don't respect yourself because you ain't setting the boundaries for yourself. You're going somewhere and allowing somebody to set the boundaries for your own self. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what we got to address, you know, and stop looking at if people are good or bad, but what is this situation that's playing out energetically, you know? Yeah. And look at things for energy, like understand him for his energy. Not understand him as a man or what's being portrayed on Instagram, but for the energy that he's embodying in this reality is just a mirror. It's just an illusion, you know. It's like what was that the phrase about Wizard of Oz?
The man in the closet.
Yeah, it's just the man in the closet. Like this person, but it's just deeper than that. Behind that veil is something so pure, an energy, you know. And everybody's just playing it out. Everybody's just subject to that. We're all playing these roles like, oh, I'm the big bad chief and you just the side girl, and like, nah, it's deeper than that. It's like behind it all is like a pure ass energy. Mm-hmm. And we just all subject to it, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm subject to my ego, y'all. We're all subject to our egos and how we feel about ourselves and how we see life and how we want people to perceive us. But being conscious and aware of yourself is the most important thing, and then being conscious aware how other people see you, because they're going to treat you how they see themselves, or how they see you too, you know. So which is the same thing, right? So you got to be aware of that and see how that plays out and see your debilitation, because somebody could make you could be basically their puppet and their tool, because they're stringing you along, giving you a promise of something because they know that you look up to them, but they don't really see you in that way. They don't really appreciate you for who you are. They don't really appreciate what, like, I feel like you never appreciated for what you brought to Carbonation. Even myself in that moment, I didn't see myself, like, it's not until recently that I've appreciated you for who you are, and like, you're very smart and you're very helpful at tapping into people's energy, and like you're very helpful at helping people in their life circumstances, and you've helped so many people. I've seen you sit down right there and break people's charts down and add value to people's lives. That's who you are. You add value, man. Don't let people make you feel like you ain't got nothing to offer the world, that you are subject to just, be somebody's slave. Nah, like you are important in this reality. I just want you to know that, and I want the world to know that you're very special. And I'm just saying that because it needs to be said, because if we don't acknowledge the greatness in our reality, I mean, we ain't not acknowledging the greatness within us. And I only say that because, I acknowledge that there's something within me that I have to offer. So it's gotta, when I see it in you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was big. Got me in tears. But that's the thing that Rambo and I have been working on with each other. Is like we see our debilitations within each other. So that's what we are working on. Instead of us putting each other down, when I see something in Rambo I don't like, I go within myself because I know that's something within me that I need to deal with. And even with the situation with Chief, like you're absolutely right. It's like he just has this hold on me to where I want his validation. I want his approval. And it's like, it doesn't matter what I do or say. To me, it's like, it's not good enough. It's not ever going to be good enough. I'm always going to be the one back there. But, and I don't know why that, I don't know why that is. I don't know why it's like that between him and I, but it is that. And this is the first time that, I'm saying it on camera. It's something that I struggle with, that I'm dealing with, but I'm overcoming.
It's because you don't value yourself enough. You value him more than you value yourself.
Yeah.
But if you were really looking at him as yourself, that couldn't happen.
Yeah,
that's not the reason. So we say that. No, but we say that.
That's bad.
No, and everybody says that, right? Everybody at Carbonation, like, well, he is me. Really? How you treating yourself? How you showing that? Are you just saying that with words? But that could never happen if you saw him as yourself. You could never value him more than you value yourself. And then that situation wouldn't play out. You wouldn't look for validation for anybody because you would be self-validated within your own self, just like he is within his own self. He ain't looking for nobody to give him the answer. That's why he could switch up and be like, I'm vegan, I'm meat, because I don't care what you're going through. That's you. Like, I'm validating my own self through my own journey. And every moment, a step of the way, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Why would I seek your validation? Because it got nothing to do with you. It's all about me and what I'm going through in this moment. Like, I'm growing, I'm tapping into this knowledge. You could, if you're on that part of your journey too, come join with me. But if you're not, cool. Like, it doesn't affect me regardless. This is where I'm at, my own personal self-growth and self-development is what I came here to do. This is what the journey's about. So why would I be focused on somebody else's part of the journey and seek validation from their point of view? Because I'm in my point of view. I'm in my point of progress. I'm at my point of my journey. So that's why I need to be focused on. So anytime you're seeking validation from somebody, you're losing focus on your own, where you're at in your own self-development because they got some parts figured out. Okay, cool. But you got some stuff figured out that they don't got figured out, which is evident, And so, but the valuing of oneself is what we're talking about when we're talking about validation, seeking validation from others. So you need to just find that within your own self and understand that you are enough. Yes, this person showed you a lot of things. Yes, he introduced you to a lot of things, but these things existed already. He just was the one that showed it to you. Like, yes, be grateful for that, but don't let that have a hold on you to the point where you are not giving yourself what you need in life, or you're not loving yourself, Never do that, no matter what nobody teaches you. Because like I said, when it comes to knowledge, the only thing that you got to do is you got to apply it to your life and share that with other people. It's a duty. It's not even like thank you for the knowledge. Like, you're supposed to be doing it. That's your responsibility, is to give the knowledge to other people, not to keep it within your own self, but to share it with the world. Nobody owes you nothing for that. You're supposed to be doing that. So that's how I look at it.
Well, he done said it all, didn't he? Next question. I want to say. Wow. Oh, well, the turning point was, I talked about this in the last video, was that my intuition was telling me it wasn't time to go. It was just like, don't go, don't go. Like, focus on what you have here. Like, stop thinking you have to go here and there to find whatever this is right in front of you. And like I said, there was no discord. There was nothing. It was just like this feeling that came over me. It was just like, it's not time for you to go. You know, and so then when I went to the I'm telling you, I was fighting it. I went to the airport and I was getting on that plane. And remember, it was sitting me on that plane. But the universe kept blocking it. It kept blocking it. It was like, nope, you're going to miss both of your flights and you ain't going to get your returning flight ticket. And then after that, we just went back home. I was just like, okay, because it was just something within me that was just like, you have to wait. Stop being so hasty. And so then 2 days later, you saw that Joy, she went off and left, and then they got deported back to the States. So it was like, that it is what it is. Like, I can't make that up, you know. I just know that I was being guided to sit still and really look at what's in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
See, go to the videos.
What video?
Right there.
You want to let in?
You let in her.
Yeah, this is your live.
It's our live.
I'm just a guest speaker.
You're the guest. My featured guest.
Oh, okay. Oh, are they coming up?
I don't know. It says waiting. Oh. YOLO.
But yeah, you know, it's like, it's not I see so much like, and that's the problem with the way we think. It's like we compartmentalize, like you versus him, vegan versus meat eater. Like life is not like that. Like we do that to life, but life is not like that. Like we in our mind try to break shit up and cast these spells of like, we create separation. We always talk about, you know, the oneness, to be one with everything, but we create the separation within our own reality. Because when things come to us whole, we break them apart and try to like break them down to different components, and then we separate life. So now it's like, now you're not even eating from nature. Now you're eating vegan, or now you're eating this, or now you're eating that. Like, it's not, life isn't like that. Like, life just is. You know, when we were talking about before about stop trying to be conscious and just be, because that's what life is doing. Life is just being, it's happening. You know, you're trying to be conscious and aware of it, and that's what consciousness does. It breaks things down. It looks at things and compartmentalizes and puts, you guys go over there, we go over here. Nah, like, just experience it. The moment is happening right now.
Yeah.
Existence. It's all one. It's all one thing that's existing in this very moment. You know, so when I see the mentality of like this person versus this person, even like they're saying Rambo for chief, like I don't know where that's coming from, because within me, like that doesn't come to do that. It's just like you trying to create animosity between me and somebody else, but I'm not gonna feel that for nobody, because I don't feel that within my own self. That would mean that I would have to feel animosity between who I am to be able to reflect that onto the world. Yeah, I don't feel that. That's why I'm not against carbonation. That's why I'm not against Chief, Nature Boy, Lee Hill, whatever. Anybody in my reality, I'm not against any of this. I'm just for understanding why it's happening, for understanding how it's playing out, and how we could facilitate growth and understanding, you know, in this moment.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm for. I ain't focusing on the you know, what I don't want. I'm just focused on what I do want, what I want out of life, you know. So I guess I didn't come in, so
Yeah.
um
Do you?
It's up to you. I mean, this is your life, like I said. So I'm not. I'm just.
It's our life. You're the one doing most of the talking.
I'm just a guest.
You a featured guest.
Yeah.
Let's try this person. I'm not even looking at the comments. Oh, he declined. Yeah. Okay.
See, like I personally, the reason I don't want to let his energy in is because I see the energy he's coming with. Like he's trying. He's not coming to try to understand.
Okay.
He wants to come and break our delusion down. That's like he's saying like, you fucking dumb. Like you don't got to figure it out. Like let me come and school you.
Yeah.
But for what? Like I'm just trying to have a conversation. And if we do have a conversation, maybe we come to some sort of understanding. But when you think that you got it all figured out, you ain't never gonna figure shit out because you already think you're already there. Mm-hmm. You're not looking for the truth. You think you already got the truth, so you'll never find the truth because you think you already found it. You know.
Exactly.
So why would I engage in a conversation with somebody who thinks they already have all the answers? I don't have all the answers. I'm looking for the answers, but to converse with somebody or debate with somebody, like for what? Yeah. You got your own way of life. You think you got to figure it out. Okay, cool. I'm over here. We over here living our reality on our journey, leveling up, becoming greater and greater every day. What that got to do with where you're at? You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it's up to you. Like, if you want to put that energy out into your body, into your reality, if you want to receive that, you could practice shadow box right here. You could train on how to deal with things in your reality.
It's this because you're doing all the talking. It's a question for you.
Okay, Rambo, how do you feel when Serenity keeps flip flopping on you to go in a combination?
Like, how can you trust her? I guess that's
the thing is.
You're not even in the frame.
The thing is, there's two parts of me, right? There's a part of me that's like angered and mad that she could have the audacity to do this to me, to do this. Like, how dare you, like I come and I take care of you and I'll put you up here and you over here looking to go over there. There's that part of it. That's the superficial, lower part of it. But the highest dimension of me understands why it's happening. The highest dimension of who I am sees it for what it is. So I just see that it's something that she's struggling with. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I just got caught in the crossfire. I got caught in the crossfire of her own reality. But I'm trying to understand that. And in the midst of that, I'm reflecting that understanding that I'm gaining from observing her back to herself. That's why I'm telling you, look, the reason you're responding to this person this way is because of this. This is how they perceive you. This is how I see that they perceive you, at least. And if you gain some understanding, like I told you the other day, my perspective on it, and you were like, damn, yeah, like I never thought about it that way, but it makes so much sense because I had seen it that way for so long, but I didn't even want to converse that to you because I was so stuck on my personal ego and what it was about me, like, oh, you going back, like, how dare you? But then when I was able to get past that and see the highest perspective, I was able to communicate my understanding with her, and so even in this moment, like, I think it keeps me on my toes and it keeps me disconnected and detached from the relationship a bit, because it is like, to me, I can still see the reality of that, I can still see that can be a possibility. So I got to acknowledge that within myself and be like, don't get too close or don't get too caught up in trying to hold on to that because you don't know what's going to happen. And you've seen a pattern of what does happen. So just relax and work on yourself and focus on yourself. But that's what I'm supposed to be doing anyways,
Yeah.
So it works out well, but the lower part obviously wants to be angered and go off and just be like, what the fuck? Like, you tripping? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's why, a couple of times, I was like, you need to go because that's the shit that I was like, I'm not having this in my reality. Like, you disrespecting me as a man. But then it's like, that was just the surface level perspective, with the shallow perspective. But the deeper I went and I tried to understand, the more growth and compassion I have for her, because that's something within me too, you know? Like, I think that I have that within me as well. And if I could see that in myself, I could have compassion with it and I see it in her, you know? So, yeah, that's how I felt about her going back to carbonation, you know? And then some moments I just completely detached. Like when she was leaving, I was completely detached. I was like, all right. Like I just had completely accepted it by that point, you know? And so I was so at peace in that moment that I didn't feel no emotion. I felt nothing in that moment, you know. It's because I had already detached from that situation. But the way our relationship works, the more distance we create, the more we attract each other. So it's kind of like a paradoxical relationship where, you know, traditionally or typically people attracted to each other or they're close to each other and that brings them closer together. But that's not how me and her work. Like the more separation we have, the more we want to come together. So it's kind of like a paradox, and we learning how to balance that. For real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm. That's good.
Okay. Oh, okay. Somebody said, how did you feel after you found out? He told people you had HIV. He used you for his gains. Why don't you see? Well, we had addressed it when we were there because, like, people are always saying things. And what?
What's his name? Keela said she loves us.
Oh, I love you too, Keela.
She just came in.
People are always saying things, right? It was so funny how that situation happened because people are always making up stuff. And so one day I was like on my phone and somebody had messaged me and was just like, and all these people were like, you know, you got AIDS. And I think he went live with the woman and was asking, and he asked her, well, what about Serenity and the AIDS? And I was just, and we all, I was like, you know, and he kind of brushed it off. So then, like, after that interview, people were like hitting me up and was just like, he said it. He said you had AIDS. I was like, don't you be talking. I was like, standing up for myself, don't you be talking about something you don't know. If you don't have proof that he said it, don't you be coming by inbox spreading rumors. Well, they sent me the feeds. I was like, oh, shoot. And so I went to Rambo and I was like, Rambo, I was like, look at this. And then Rambo kind of like brushed it off and it was like, Rambo was like, well, what you want to do about it? And I was just like, I think I should ask him about it because this looks like his messenger, you know. And so I was like, I don't know how. I said, but I was just like, I would at least like to ask him. And so out of nowhere, Rambo just went to him and was just like, hey, we received these messages. You know, did you say this? And then he kind of like went off on us. He was like, how dare you come at me right now? You know, I'm doing this and you coming to me about this. Like, da, 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 da. We was just like, okay, we're just asking. We're not accusing you of anything. It's just that a lot of people coming to us or to me, and then, you know, this is what they're saying. And I said, I just want to make sure it's not true. And then he was like, I didn't say that, da, da, da. And so I felt bad. I was like, oh crap, you know, he's gonna be mad at me, you know, because I brought that to his attention. But then maybe like 10 minutes later, he brought me Rambo into the office and was like, okay, yeah, I said it. He was just like, yeah, I said it. And we had a conversation about it. And like, it hurt my feelings because I'm like, well, first of all, why are you even talking about me? And you saying one thing, you saying a lie, but then why are you talking about me? Why are you telling my business? Even though that's a lie, I was like, why would you even be talking about me to someone else? And on top of that, telling people that you didn't want me here no more and you wanted me to leave. I'm just like, you know, you're not my friend. Like, you always be talking about, if you're my friend, if you love me, you did this. But like, damn, if you love me, if you're my friend, you wouldn't do that. And so a part of me, I was like, damn. You know, I was like, why would he even do that? But we had a conversation and I let it go. But then I don't really think I did let it go because I was just like, damn, if he's able to do something like that, no telling what else he's saying about me behind my back. And so it was kind of hard for me to keep that trust because I'm just like, why would you even do that? And so that was a part of the reason why I decided I wanted to leave, because I'm like, if I'm not going to put my full trust into this, like, why am I even here? Like, why am I faking the funk? You know? But yeah, but it wasn't true. And like I said, we talked about it. He even went live and we addressed it, and he said why he said it and all this and that. But then it still made me feel a certain way, like we shouldn't even be having this conversation. Like, whatever goes on between us stays with us, you know. But that's not always the case. So. Mm-hmm.
Are you still there?
That don't got nothing to do with me. Okay. Okay, that's such an open-ended question. Like, okay. So, what is my journey? Like, your journey continues until the day that you transcend. But even then, you wake up into a whole nother reality. So it's forever. But to be simplistic, I realized that we're all trying to figure it out. And no one has the answers. Like, you might have the answers for right now, but you have to be open and evolved to growing. And that's what you see with carbonation, because at one point they were talking about, don't eat meat, vegan, vegan, vegan. And now they receive new information and they're evolving into something else. And that is the whole point of it. Continue to be open to evolve. You understand? And like, for me, it's not about convicting anyone or making anyone feel bad about their life. I feel like if you want to truly convict someone, do it in your actions, do it in your character.
You shouldn't have to say a word.
You should have to say a word to, to where people are like, damn, I want to be like you. So for me, the thing that I want to continue to move forward in is, if you want to truly know what your soul needs, study your fourth house. Your fourth house will tell you what your soul needs. And with me, my fourth house is in Sagittarius. So my soul needs that inner wisdom, that wisdom that only I can give myself by experience, by learning, by, being me, being authentically me. And so the things that I've learned over the past 2 years and even my life, I want to share that with you. Like, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm a learn-it-all. I want to learn, and I believe that carbonation is necessary. I believe that in order for you to truly know who you are, you got to go through the darkness. You got to be tried and tested. You understand? That's why we always say, in order to be a diamond, use a piece of coal first, and then the pressure made the diamond. You know what I'm saying? But I believe it's necessary for some people to go through that experience. And so that's the thing that I want to teach people about what I've learned, about what I learned now, and where I am right now. But right now, consciousness is evolving into something else. Even the word consciousness is evolving. New words, new updates are happening. And you want to be in the flow of that. And see, with me, the resistance within me was change. I don't like things to change. I want things to stay the same. I don't want to evolve. I like it. It's comfortable. I've been eating here the whole time. I've been eating the same thing. Why you change up the menu? Like, that is me. But in order to empower yourself into becoming light, and you have to go with the flow of the universe. And it doesn't matter if people don't understand. It doesn't matter if it makes people upset with you. You have your own flow. And my friend that's in the room, she was like, listen to your heart. That's your flow. You understand? And we all have our own genetic program. We all have our own light to shine. Whatever that is. Now, we all come from the collective oneness, but we've been broken up in different pieces to express it in the way that we're here to express it. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And that's what I want to continue to nurture within myself. And I want to nurture within any of you that continues to listen to me or follow me or be a part of